I fell in love with London Quinn in high school, even though she told me not to. If you're driving, I pick the music.
Life can feel serene, and then a single rock breaks the surface.
That is a look at the new film, Someone Like You. It's based on the popular novel that follows young architect Dawson, who loses his best friend London in a tragic accident. He's compelled to launch a search for London's secret twin sister, Andy, but he never planned to fall in love along the way. Canadian actor Sarah Fisher plays the roles of both London and Andy, and she joins us now. Welcome to the morning show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. All right, so what drew you to this script?
Well, honestly, one of the things I was most excited about when I got the audition was the fact that I was playing two characters.
Yep.
You know, as an actor,
sure.
I love a challenge, and you know, Karen Kingsbury is such a brilliant writer, and she created these two beautiful characters. So just the opportunity to just dive into one was such an honor, let alone two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell us about the challenge of playing two characters, twins. Yeah.
It's a challenge. Yeah. But you know what? It was one I was so excited and ready to dive headfirst into. I mean, we were so specific in paying attention to the details, you know, like how do they present themselves differently? How do they sit differently? How do they laugh differently? And the director, Tyler Russell, was just an incredible help in you know, navigating with me on the days where we would be filming Andy and London scenes in one day, and we'd be switching, and he'd be like, you know, if we were in an Andy scene, he'd be like, London's laugh just came in, London's next up, let's hold off. And he was fabulous. He was so helpful.
Who am I right now?
Exactly.
Who did you relate to more? Which of the two?
You know, it's so hard because I really think that there's a little piece of my heart in both of them. I really relate to both. You know, London's kind of got this wacky, she likes to dance, very free-spirited, and I feel like I very much relate to her in those ways. And you know, Andy's just, she cares a lot about her people. So I find I relate to them in different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, speaking of challenges, all of you spent a lot of time on jet skis, right? Jet skiing on a beautiful lake.
Did. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Tell us about that. And I don't know, was there a bit of a learning curve there?
You know, I went on a jet ski with my dad when I was 7 years old, and he said I just revved it up and I went. So I loved it. And the second they asked, are you comfortable on a jet ski? I was like, I'm more than comfortable on a jet ski. Yeah. I had such a blast. The scenes were incredible, and I think it just adds so much to the movie.
Sure.
Cinematic, it's just so beautiful. Being on the lake was just magical.
For sure. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned Karen Kingsbury, best-selling author, wrote the novel. She funded this herself, this movie. Any pressure in wanting to deliver?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, her and her family poured everything into this, and it really makes a huge difference when you're on a set where everyone is so invested in the story and everyone's excited about it. There was so much love. Her husband was on set every day. One of their family friends was doing crafty, helping with all the snacks. Like, it was so personable, and I love working that way. And it felt like magic every day on set.
All right, of course, a lot of people know you from Degrassi. Can we talk about Degrassi a little bit?
Of course, always.
Okay, yeah, because you're part of the next generation for
I was.
3 seasons?
3, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that. What was that experience like?
Honestly, Degrassi was actually the first audition I ever did in the industry. And so I fell in, and then I kind of fell head over heels in love with it. And I can honestly say to this day that everyone involved in that show, cast, crew, everybody, mom and dad, mom and papa Degrassi, Linda Schuyler, Stephen Stone, you know, these people are our family, and Degrassi's a home for me, always will be.
You recently shared online a story from your Degrassi audition. Tell, for people who don't know, it was a fun audition process.
It was, oh yes, I know what story you're talking about. It was very fun. You know, Monroe Chambers, phenomenal plays Eli Goldsworthy, played Eli Goldsworthy on Degrassi. And when I first auditioned, actually this was my 3rd audition. I was doing a chemistry read with him, and he was standing outside, and I went to go to the bathroom. I passed him, and I like gave him a pat on the back and was like, man, I hope you get it, nail it in there. But he already, of course, he's one of the stars of the show, and I just didn't know. And I went in, and they were like, Sarah, you know, he plays Eli Goldsworthy on the show. This is Monroe Chambers. And I just did a classic, you know, head down, like, how do you do? So that was my intro to the show.
Yeah, it was like, boom. All right, the trickle of sweat comes down.
I was dripping sweat. They're like, how do you feel? I was like, good.
Yeah.
Good. You?
Well, needless to say, it all worked out. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Someone Like You hits theaters next Wednesday, April the 2nd. Sarah, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming by.
So good to see you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.